Welcome to Tool Hut channel. I just want to go over a common failure I'm seeing with Nissan transmissions and aftermarket scan tools, especially when it's a used transmission and you scan the QR code. Now, if you scan the QR code on a new transmission, it seems to be the same problem. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. I guess when you scan the QR code as opposed to putting the CD in, like you do with the Consult 3 Plus, then it seems to cause some problems. Um, so I just want to go over those with you. So let's talk about it. Stand by. Okay, so what you got is you're working on a Nissan. I'm just trying to give you some examples. I'm trying to be vague about what we're doing here because it's a problem across the board with these Nissans. So you put a transmission in a Nissan, which is a super common thing to do, and your scan tool says that you can do the scan the QR code, right? So use transmission, new transmission, whatever you got to do. You scan this QR code, and then all of a sudden, you got a message on the dash that says that you got an iKey system failure. Well, what happened now? What did you do? Well, let me just tell you, with aftermarket scan tools, like I say, I'm trying not to pick on any scan tool because they all do it. If you don't do the functions in the correct order, it actually takes this calibration data out of the transmission control module. So I'm going to give you my suggestion for the order that I do them with the success with both aftermarket scan tools that I carry, the Top Down and the Autel. I've seen both of them do this. Both of them perform the same problem or cause the same problem. So it's not a scan tool problem. Well, maybe it is a scan tool problem, but it's not necessarily a scan tool problem if you follow the procedure and do it correctly. And I don't know that I've seen it documented anywhere in the correct order to do these. So let's go through it. Okay, my suggestion that we start or you start with reading the calibration data here. Every scan tool is a little different where it's at, but my suggestion is you read it and then you erase it. And after you erase it, you want to go back to calibration data and verify that the first 5 lines are zeros. Uh, it's the only thing I can tell you is the first 5 lines need to be zeros. And then my suggestion is that you erase the learning value. And once you've erased the learning value, your conform CVT fluid deterioration should be a 0. If it's not, go back and perform these first 2 functions again, the erase calibration data and the erase learning value. If it still doesn't go to 0, then you're going to have to write the IP characterization with the QR code. Go up there and make sure that it changes to a 0. You need to make sure that's a 0. And then if the right IP characterization was the last thing you did, you should be all right. But what a lot of people do, and I'm guilty of it myself, is I like to write the IP characterization first because it does typically change the conform CVT deterioration to a 0, and then I do these other clears, and I've I've done it myself, and a lot of times you end up with that I key error on the dash, and then it just slams into gear. So if it slams into gear, and or it's got the I key error on the dash, you want to make sure that you rewrite the IP characterization. Scan that QR code again. Now, for scanning the QR code, there's a couple of options for that as well. So you can get a QR code reader. I like to scan it with my phone or take a picture of it with my phone. I like to scan it with my phone first to make sure that the phone does decipher it as a QR code. Because if it doesn't, then you're not going to do any good. So you got to be careful wiping them off when they're dirty, like the one in the picture. You can't wipe them off with brake cleaner or nothing like that because you'll take the QR code right off from it. So, hope that helps somebody. Have a great day.